Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Daniel helped Kreese during the events of Cobra Kai Season 5? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 5 would still happen. Terry Silver would still betray Kreese by framing him for assaulting Stingray. Kreese would still go to prison, and the events of Season 5 would carry on. Tori would still visit Kreese in prison, and she would still want to help him out. Terry Silver would still bring in Master Kim Dae-un, and she would agree to help train the students. Terry Silver would still take over Cobra Kai, and Daniel would still want to expose Terry Silver. Daniel, Chosen, Johnny, and Amanda would want to form a plan to expose Terry Silver. Amanda would suggest they ask Kreese what Terry Silver's plan was. Daniel and Johnny would still be opposed, but they would have no other choice, so Daniel and Johnny would go visit Kreese in prison. Kreese would be surprised to see Daniel and Johnny, but he wouldn't want to talk to Daniel. He would only want to talk to Johnny, but Johnny wouldn't want to talk to Kreese. Daniel would ask Kreese if he knew about Terry Silver's plan. Kreese would say that he knew what he was planning, but he wasn't going to tell them. This is when Daniel would say that he could get his lawyer to help him in exchange for the information. Kreese would be intrigued, so Daniel would go call his lawyer, and in this timeline, Daniel wouldn't lie to Kreese, and when Daniel came back, Kreese would reveal Terry Silver's plan. He would say that Terry Silver was planning on entering Cobra Kai into the Saikai Taikai. Daniel and Johnny would realize that they needed to interfere, so Daniel would thank Kreese, and he would give him the lawyer's number. So in this timeline, Daniel's lawyer would help Kreese get out early. Tori would visit Kreese, and Kreese would tell her that he was getting out early, and he would also tell her to remain in Cobra Kai a bit longer, so Tori would obey Kreese, and the events of Season 5 would carry on. Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen would still interfere, and they would want to convince the judges to let them compete. Both Cobra Kai and Miyagi Fang would train for the Saikai Taikai, and they would still have to compete, so Hawk would still fight Kenny in this timeline. He would still go easy on him, and Kenny would use the silver bullet technique, so Kenny would defeat Hawk. Tori would fight Sam, and even though Tori knew they were cheating, Tori would still fight, and in this timeline, Tori would defeat Sam, so only Cobra Kai would qualify for the Saikai Taikai. Miyagi Fang would go home in defeat, and over the next few days, Daniel's lawyer would help Kreese get out early. Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen would have a meeting. They would want to form another plan to take down Cobra Kai. This is when Kreese would show up at the dojo. Daniel and Johnny would be surprised to see him, but Kreese would say that he comes in peace. Kreese would want to help them take down Terry Silver, and Kreese would call Tori, and Tori would reveal that she was working with Kreese, and she would tell everyone that Cobra Kai cheated during the All Valley, and during the fights for the Saikai Taikai. Daniel would be surprised, and he would be angry. This is when Tori would say that she could go into the Cobra Kai dojo and expose Terry Silver. Tori would say that they could use their help, and at first, Miyagi Fang wouldn't want to help Tori, but they would have no other choice, so Tori would help Miyagi Fang break into the Cobra Kai dojo, and while they were doing that, Daniel, Johnny, Chosen, and Kreese would confront Stingray, and they would force him to reveal that it was Terry Silver that attacked him, so Terry Silver would be exposed, and Kreese's name would finally be cleared. The police would arrest Terry Silver, but Cobra Kai wouldn't shut down in this timeline. Instead, Kreese would retake Cobra Kai as his own, but he would have to downsize, so he would go back to the Cobra Kai dojo in Reseda. Tori would stay in Cobra Kai, along with a couple of the Cobra Kai students, but Kenny and Devin would leave. Master Kim Dae-un would feel betrayed, and Kreese would tell her that he couldn't promise her everything that Terry Silver promised, but with her help, Cobra Kai could once again be the biggest dojo in the valley. Master Kim Dae-un would agree, so Kreese and Master Kim Dae-un would run Cobra Kai. Daniel would be happy that Terry Silver was gone, but they would still have to deal with Kreese, so Daniel and Johnny would still want to take down Cobra Kai, and the rivalry between Cobra Kai and Miyagi Fang would continue, and that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Daniel helped Kreese during the events of Cobra Kai Season 5? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.